Welcome to Hoi Hieng Nature Park and another glimpse of our lovely large spotted civet kit, who we have named Answer or Kam Top in Thai. And here is the reason for that curious name. The kit's mother, who we have called Question Mark, because of the pattern of dots on her right flank. Here, foraging at Rocky Pool. And now at Muddy Pool on the 23rd of January. Sometimes she is accompanied by her kit, but at many other times she comes alone. Here they are together on the 24th. I've been trying to learn as much as I can about this rarely seen species. What I have learnt is that the kit will stay in the den or a hiding place for the first 2 months after birth, feeding on its mother's milk, and then spend about another 2 months foraging with the mother. Now, we first saw this kit out foraging with Question Mark on the 3rd of December, so that would suggest that she was born around about the start of October. Information online suggests a very short gestation period of just 45 days in this species. I find that rather surprising, especially when compared to the 80-day gestation period of its close relative, the large Indian civet. Nonetheless, assuming that is correct, that would put conception around mid-August, when we saw the mature male civet, Coco, around the land a lot, and who we assume to be the father of both this kit and last year's kit that we called Tadpole. We've seen her do this before. There must be something there that she likes the smell of. Or does this kind of scent rubbing suggest that this is a male kit? If anyone has any observations on that, please leave a comment below. These large spotted civets readily enter shallow water like this, presumably feeling for prey with their whiskers. As you can see, it is now the 24th of January, and to our knowledge, Mother and Kit have been foraging together for nearly 2 months now. And we are starting to wonder how much longer it will be before young Answer goes her own way. Rocky Pool and Muddy Pool were really made with bird photography and filming in mind, and the hides are quite close to the water. But these civets don't seem to be bothered by that. Here we see some lovely reflections of ? in the lower pool. Something I hope to capture when filming birds here. A few hours later on the same night, foraging at Muddy Pool. Back to the scent rubbing again. Now what on earth is this? Play courtship? Does this suggest that the kit is actually a young male? Now here, listen carefully and watch the mother's body. That curious sound was clearly coming from the mother, ? I have heard it before when they were together. I wonder if it is a response to the noise of the wind there. Always a danger to any wild animal. Perhaps that call is some kind of comforting response from the mother to the kit. Incidentally, talking of danger, I saw a very large cobra in the leaf litter to the right of the pool here just a couple of days before this. And I have often wondered, with all this poking about in the leaf litter and the mud and the pool, what happens when these civets inevitably meet snakes. Perhaps we will see on a clip one day. Now, back to Muddy Pool and another civet. We see that dark neck pattern, but less pronounced spots on the body. And then the black and white hooped tail, revealing that this is a large Indian civet. We have seen this individual over the last couple of years, and she has a very distinctive mark on the neck that reminds me of a dinosaur. I have not named the large Indian civets yet, but we recently discovered that we may have 3 or 4 on the land, and I'm trying to capture clear images of all of them so that we can name them. Incidentally, duck has also been suggested as a name for this one. If you have any thoughts on that or other suggestions, please leave a comment below. I believe this female had a kit well over a year ago, but we had fewer cameras at that time and only caught a couple of images of that youngster. Notice how the snout is very pointed and delicate, reminiscent of a fox. And it seems that this species does not so readily hunt in the water. And now you can clearly see the wider and more robust snout of the large spotted civet. Question mark also forages at Big Pool. Here she is suffering the wrath of the red-wattled lapwings. I know how that feels. They are the nemesis of wildlife photographers. Question mark, clearly knowing that there are likely to be frogs in the water and going straight in for them. It is now the night of the 30th, just after midnight. Mother and Kit are still together, but I can't help but wonder if this will be one of the last times that we will see that. Back to Muddy Pool on the evening of the 31st, and it seems that there are a lot of frogs to be had. Later that night, and the large Indian civet has worked up a thirst. And now the 2nd of February, I have a guest staying here for 2 days to try to film these civets. As you know, Rocky Pool and Muddy Pool are close together, and tonight we are sitting at Rocky Pool with a ton of lighting and camera gear. So, of course, Question Mark is putting on a great show here at Muddy Pool. The next night, we moved all the gear to Muddy Pool, and inevitably, Question Mark went that night to Rocky Pool. The trials and tribulations of wildlife filming. In any case, the bigger story here is that we haven't seen the kit for 3 nights now, and I am assuming that she has gone on her own way. But I'm just hoping that she has stayed here on the land rather than moving out into the neighboring national park. Apparently, these civets can have 2 broods per year, so I am also wondering if we will start to see the mature male, Coco, visiting again soon. Question Mark heads off in the direction of Muddy Pool, where my guest is waiting. Note that the time is 2:33. And just 25 minutes later, having bypassed Muddy Pool, she goes straight up the hill to Big Pool, but is still alone. The next day, Nye and I placed one of our cheap cameras along a new trail by the river in our land, just to see if we could record something different in that area. And would you believe it? On the very last night of my current visit to the land, the young kit, Answer, going her own way down by the river. Wonderful news.